Hey traders, good evening. It's Carlos over here at GAR Capital for our weekly recap video and the video talking about the week ahead. Today is November 15th, 2015. We did not have a video last week. I was in Dallas, so I didn't get a chance with their Wi-Fi there to enough bandwidth to upload a video. So, we're going to go ahead and continue on for this week and see how we're looking. All right. I can just bring up, there we go. Of course, we always begin with our risk advisory. All trades are assumed with the possible risk, with the risk of possible loss of capital. Use information at your own risk and practice proper risk management, as well as risk tolerance towards your account and margin requirements with your broker. Well, I think the key theme with us is patience, as always. Traders will tell you in the chat room. Let's look at the trades that we had this week. We're still down 217. We had a rough beginning of the month, but we came out very nicely with our dollar yen trades. 63 pips on one position, 8 pips on another, 37 on another, and 18 on the dollar yen, which we went ahead and shorted. We still have a couple of positions open on euro pound long and euro dollar long, where we wide at the bottom. Also dollar CAD, and then today I went ahead and sent out a signal for the dollar yen short as well. Wanted to get back in there at the trade. Let's take a look at it as well. Take a look at a dollar yen chart. Let me just drag this over from my other monitor. There we go. And make sure we have the updated trade right now. Right now, this is a dollar yen. Euro dollar trade. Let's look at a dollar yen. I think we got it at about 122.44, I believe. Right now we're trading at 122.48. That's the current quote on dollar yen. Just waiting for this to load. We got really high for a while and we had to hold for a little bit, but it definitely paid off. We wanted to go ahead and get to close out the trade, lock in some profits for us on Friday. So we went ahead and got that taken care of. I think a combined total of pips of 63, about 108, about 126, 136 pips total in return, which is great on that trade. We just wanted to go ahead and close it. We would have closed it afterwards still, but this is dollar yen. Euro dollar again. So let's go ahead and get. There we go. So this is where we're trading at right now. This is a daily chart. If you see what I'm seeing here, we got a couple of highs and lows here. A couple of pivot points. A little bit of a bounce back, but now as you can see, it's lying down. This, as well as the dollar not holding on to those gains around 125, at around 120. Where were we at? We were around 121, and then we rose to about 123, and we're playing back to the downside. With a couple of pivot points coming downwards, you could see here in the daily chart, we're pretty much set on shorting the dollar yen. With the yen strengthening as well, we also had some information in regards to some inflationary numbers. Also, the talk from the Fed wasn't as strong, hawkish as we've all been thinking about or all been hearing on the news. It just looks like, in my opinion, that the Fed is just looking for ways not to raise rates. As you can see here, core retail sales missed expectations. PPI, is that Producer Price Index, missed expectations. Month-over-month retail sales, missed expectations. The only thing that met expectations was the University of Michigan consumer sentiment. With all this being said, all this deflationary issues, raising the rates would only hurt that. So the Fed is basically caught between a rock and a hard place, meaning you have the market clamoring for the rate increase, but yet the dollar is pretty strong across all currencies, which hurts a lot of other countries, especially exporting nations like Japan. but the Japanese economy has kind of turned for the best. So as you can see, it can't hold the levels of 125 early this year, 123 or this year. It seems to be basing in just the level it wants to come out of after breaking this resistance line of 122. It looks like is around 121, 119. So we went ahead and shorted here at the current levels of 122, and we can definitely get to a 119 level. If we can just get around to 119 even, or maybe 119.50, that's a nice little spread that we can make. And that's our target, 119.50, 119 around this base. It just, right here, technically, it just looks like after this breaking of resistance, right around this green line here, you could see the peaks and then the valleys, the peaks and the valleys. And then it just bases around this area right here, right around 121 and 119. So let's get a couple of lines here set up. But that seems to be the little bit of a kind of the nesting area where the dollar yen wants to sit. And right now we're getting a little bit of a dive. So let's look here in an hourly. And you could see as well just the peaks, lower highs, lower highs all across. So we're seeing the trend definitely to the downside. And we're just going to ride this puppy, honestly. If we can break 122, we're definitely going to add another position. That seems to be the play. Um, I'm bearish on dollar all around. It just is unsustainable at these levels, in my opinion, in my analysis. With especially with the euro dollar as well, dollar Canadian, dollar Canadian dollar as well. So shorting the dollar is my play. That's what I've been telling our clients on the WhatsApp chat room. And as you can see here, we're also getting a little bit of a flight to safety due to the Paris attacks. And I just want to take a moment to give our thoughts and prayers to all the victims in France. We're thinking about you and we're praying for you. Um, Obviously, we want to bring those terrorists to justice, and just hoping for the best, of course, for them and their families. And our thoughts and prayers go out to them, of course. But business aside or markets aside, you know, this is what it is. We live in a dangerous world, and as you can see, France is part of the European Union, and today there was a little bit of a pullback due to it. As you can see, right at the open, a little bit of a drop. But we're gonna go ahead and look at a long-term view. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. As you can see, excuse me, the daily. This is a dollar yen. I mean, euro dollar dollar. Definitely a zigzag motion here, ups and downs. We're bought right here at the bottom. That's where we want to get in. We're just gonna rise and play the rise here. That's what we're looking at. So let's look at long term. Look at the lows. It just doesn't seem to gonna hit parity at all. It just seems to be run out of gas right around 107. That 107 handle runs out of gas and just bounces back up for the euro dollar. And we're definitely in a supply area, as you could see here. So if we can play that rise all the way back to about 113, even pre non-farm payroll. Look right here, non-farm payroll amount before the drop, around 113.40. If we can get back down to there, that's a nice profit margin right there for us. And that's our play. We want to get a retracement after NFP. Big drop, of course, all around, but we can play back the upside and meet right, even if anything, 113, and we can close out there and make money that way. Uh, Obviously, you want to go ahead and get things on the sale and on the supply side, uh, and then demand. But definitely, that's where we're at. We want to play the upside and the bounce here. We got in around 107 again at the bottom. 107. We're gonna ride it all the way back up to 113. That's our goal. 112 is where the profit target is at the moment, but we're gonna go ahead and move it once we get rocketed up. Let's go ahead and look at dollar Canadian dollar. Now, the dollar Canadian dollar isn't so simple because you have oil, and oil's been getting hit big time. About 8% drop, I believe, this week. As you can see here on a daily chart, it's just been rising and just rising and rising. But we're here at a dollar, an hour chart, and it seems to be breaking around 133.40 and then just back down. This is after NFP. NFP the first week of November, back up. And what we're gonna do, we'll play the retracement. But oil has to manage. Oil has to meet us there. And it just seems now with the WTI breaking the 139 handle, it just seems that's going to take a little more patience than other trades. The dollar Canadian dollar to me will take the longest time to retrace if it does because of the oil market and oil futures. But again, staying patient, just like we did with dollar Canadian dollar last month, and we made a killing on that trade. We're gonna just have to wait on this one as well. So moving on to the week ahead. Preliminary GDP numbers came out today. A little bit missed expectations by a tenth of a percentage point. Doesn't really seem to be affecting the dollar yen. We're still at 122.46. Here as well, we have European CPI numbers at 5 a.m. Draghi's going to speak tomorrow at 5:15. Again, we're just going to have to think about exactly what the President Draghi is going to say, obviously regarding the Paris situation and the attacks. It just seems like the economics is on the back burner at the moment, especially with the airstrikes on Syria from France. We also have some monetary policy meetings in the Aussies and the Canadian manufacturing sales. We got CPI numbers from England on Tuesday. We got economic sentiment in Germany. We got CPI numbers for the United States. That's on Tuesday at 8:30. Rest of this pretty quiet. FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. We got crude oil inventories as every week as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that for our dollar Canadian dollar trade. Bank of Japan press conference tentative at Thursday. We got unemployment claims, of course, fully fed. Unemployment claims every week, and then Draghi's going to speak again on Friday. Draghi's been speaking a lot these past couple of weeks, so we just have to keep an eye on it, especially for our Euro trade. They're not as dovish as expected, which helped our trade to bounce back. And we got core CPI and Canadian for Canada, and that'd be it for the week. And we don't have huge announcements. Obviously, the thing we're looking at is President Draghi. We're looking at the Bank of Japan press conference. And of course, we're looking at those CPI numbers in the United States, as well as the British pound. Any kind of inflationary information, info numbers, we want to keep an eye on. But the big one right here, obviously, is Draghi. And, Draghi speak is what we need to keep an eye on as well. Canadian dollar for our other trades as well. So that being said, again, guys, we're just going to stay patient, sticking to our analysis. It's worked for us in the past. We have a trading plan. We know what we're doing. We know what we're looking for. We have our targets. It takes away the emotion of trading. It just takes away the fact that, get in and get out, because that's just gonna eat you up. It's just really gonna hurt all the way because you're not sure what's going on. So again, we just have to keep be mindful of what we're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to do. So with that being said, it keeps us away from being over trading or having emotions in our trades. So we just want to keep that in mind, keep going with what we're going to do. And guys, we just gotta stick to our guns, stick to our plan. But again, guys, I just want to go ahead and say thank you for taking the time this week again. If you're interested in our signal service and analysis, please email grcapital@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at grcapital. Subscribe to our other YouTube channel. Click like below if you like these videos. And if you have any concerns or questions, please feel free to go ahead and email me directly. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Have a great rest of the week. I will be on the Trader chat room first thing tomorrow morning for London Open. And of course, anything else you need, I'm just an email away. Thanks again, you guys. Have a great evening.